Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. This is another Upper Deck. It started out being a box battle. I don't think that's really what it's winding up being, but I got some boxes from Upper Deck. Appreciate that. Thanks other sponsors too, but this is heavily Upper Deck today. But thanks also to Topps and Panini. They've sent stuff, and I've acquired stuff in the past, one way or another, and enjoyed that as well. Thanks Heritage Auctions, Ogden Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. So I started out, I was going to do a box battle. I got a Black Diamond box, just 6 cards, all hits. And I thought, that's about twice the price of the 22-23 Upper Deck SkyBox Metal Universe hockey. And I thought, well, okay, comparing hockey to hockey, if it's just 1 against 1, I'd take the Black Diamond, the 22-23 Black Diamond. But if it's 2 for 1, I still, in spite of the way most people approach it now, I like more cards. So I thought, well, I would, and sure enough, I opened up the Black Diamond. I opened up the SkyBox Metal Universe hockey, 15 packs of 7 cards. And I thought, if I can get 2 of those boxes, I'd rather take that. Now, some interesting things happened is that, one, there are no parallels to speak of in the Upper Deck SkyBox Metal Universe hockey. I thought, well, that's different. I really thought a lot of the industry was moving to, of course, it's mainly Panini is the master of the rainbow, I think. The inventor, I don't know about the inventor, but they've certainly popularized for player collectors that you've got a whole bunch of different choices of colors and treatments for the same guy. So, but Upper Deck, most of these hockey products, they're really into hockey, and they tout the rookie prospects that are included. And they have the allure in any of these Metal Universe products that there's possible PMGs of various colors and even down to 1-of-1s. So that's a big enticement. But just like back 25 years ago, it's really tough. You can talk all you want about getting PMGs, but when it's very rare like that, there can be some discouragement. So anyway, that's the choice that Upper Deck has made to give that aspect of PMGs, but not some of these easier parallels. I would, yeah. So, anyway, so first battle was Black Diamond against Metal Universe hockey, both hockey. I would take the 2 of those. And, but if I'm a collector and I'm wondering about it, I opened them up, but if you were not, I had the boxes in hand, but if you were trying to decide, again, I'm realizing that watching some breaks is a terrific way to get a feel for the product. It's why breaking has been popular. It's why the card companies are in favor of breaking, because it's demonstrating the product, even though the results of many of the breaks can be financially disappointing. There's always frequently that big winner that keeps people coming back for more. So watching breaks, more than one perhaps. Again, I think this is a product that's very breakable, because you do have the promise or the chance of getting something really good. And in the meantime, you're getting really nice looking cards. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I thought, well, actually I got a 3rd box, and that was also Metal Universe, but it was the Metal Universe AEW, the wrestling. And I thought, well, I actually really like wrestling too. Well, that's similar price to the Metal Universe, the Metal Universe hockey. And so I thought, well, would I rather have a box of the wrestling? And that does have more parallels, and kind of a 1 per pack parallel, I guess. And I thought, when I got done with it and opened up and compared, I thought, I still like the hockey better. I love wrestling, the professional wrestling as a sport and the personalities. But I never had season tickets to wrestling. I had season tickets many years to hockey, and saw the Stars lift the Stanley Cup. And so that's probably tie goes to that. But still, I was surprised that these are products that came out around the same time, and the configuration and the way it's put out with some emphasis on inserts. It was interesting that the hockey and the wrestling are pretty different. Bottom line, I would still pick the hockey. So hockey, Metal Universe. I really like that. Again, I can use some of the cards and put them in my Dallas Stars collection. I didn't get anything fabulous. I'm always looking to see if I'm going to get something for my wall. I didn't, but better luck next time. In fact, as I say, it kind of is luck. And I don't think there's bad luck or good luck necessarily. It's just the odds. Sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose. And probably more often than not, you're going to financially lose because the occasional huge winner, makes it, the average more palatable. So I was thinking, after I got through with this, I thought, well, why are we even discussing this? If I'm, why is Upper Deck doing what used to be a SkyBox and it was Fleer SkyBox product? And I'm realizing that as I just come to grips with the fact that the Metal Universe cards are one of the favorite designs I have of all time. I think that was a groundbreaking design. Even the base cards look great. Okay, why is that relevant to today? Well, Panini just paid a $25 million lawsuit settlement to the former owners of Wild Card because of having a Stat Smashers, which wasn't that great a design. It was an interesting design, but not worth, I don't think they were attempting to plagiarize. So what's going on here? You've got over the years, you can have trademarks and copyrights and patents, and those are all three different things, whether it's a design or a process or a name or something, and you get rights to that. Originally, it was for a period of time. You don't have necessarily in perpetuity, but some of the stuff from the turn of the century, the turn of the early 1900s, I think I seem to recall you got a 28-year copyright, and then maybe you could get one more extension. But at some point, it's fair use for anybody, and so that's why you can see Gypsy Queen and Allen and Ginter and the Tops 206. Goodwin Champions, several of these. I think they're just available now. Once one of the modern companies uses it, the others can't plagiarize them, but they've grabbed them. So I'm really putting together that it was really important back in the mid 2000s when Fleer went under and got bankrupt, and their assets and their copyrights apparently were acquired by Upper Deck for, I'm sure it was some fair amount of money, but it wasn't a going concern of a company. But now they're looking really smart that they picked up these brands that have new lease on life. Excuse me. Something that Panini picked up by having the Donruss playoff score. Those group of brands that they carried forward in their acquisition when those companies were reorganized or were sold. But Wildcard, I don't think was sold. I think Wildcard was just picked up, just went out of business. And maybe that's what slipped through the cracks, that they didn't realize that. And it's been more than 28 years. Maybe they just thought, well, it's expired. Surely you need to check on that. But again, hats off to Upper Deck to see that not only long-term arrangements with these iconic superstars, where they, for 30 years they've had a relationship with Gretzky and Jordan, and the LeBron relationship may be expiring because of some things with Bronny. That's what I hear. but also the brands of just Metal Universe and some of these other kinds of inserts that were so popular then still have some cachet now. That the Intimidation Nation and things like that, all these different things that you think, well, that's ancient history. Well, it's not ancient history if you're in your 40s and you remember 25 years ago, or late 30s and you remember 25 years ago when these were coming out, that you really wanted those. So back in the day, we had maybe at least, I think we had 13 football card producing companies, and a bunch of them went out of business in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the fire sale of the rights apparently was worth more than some people realized. Otherwise, somebody would have bought them up all, would have bought them all up at the time. That's how Leaf got into business. Brian Gray acquired Leaf. Brian Gray, I believe, either has an arrangement, although Brian Gray is now moved on. I think he still has interest in Leaf, but he was the guiding light behind Leaf, seeing that those older brands, Pro-Set, he brought back Pro-Set. I don't know if he acquired them or did an arrangement, but this has always been, even for newer cards, this is still a hobby of nostalgia. So hats off to Upper Deck for seeing that, and they've had some level of a fair amount of continuity, just like many of these older companies have had some continuity of ownership or leadership, to where they can see that this is really this is a good decision to pay money for nothing other than some old designs and some old copyrighted stuff. But they've resurrected it in a way that won the battle for me. I just think anything they do that's reminiscent of the Metal Universe cards, like I say, even the base cards are beautiful. And the inserts are still stuff that I tout on in fact, many of the cards from that era on my wall are Fleer based or SkyBox based. Again, which, if they were doing so great, why'd they go out of business? Could they have, instead of going out of business, could they have sold some of these sub brands? I don't think so. I think they really just, it just was time to sell. I think they had creditors, and the way that some people do business is to have an extensive line of credit that gives you plenty of room, but that room can get you in trouble as well. So, thanks Upper Deck for putting out great products. Topps does as well. Panini does as well. But the Metal Universe is a winner in my book. In fact, I'm hard pressed to think my only disappointment is I'm not getting PMGs. But I can't complain about that, because the pack odds are very slim. So again, thanks Upper Deck. Thanks everybody else for listening, and enjoy hobbying. Keep checking out breaks for new products that you're thinking about. And I always like the idea of thinking, I've got X dollars in my pocket. What do I want to spend it on? I want to spend it on something that's going to give me the best deal or the most enjoyment, and hopefully both of those. So thanks again. Be back again tomorrow with another episode.